VTSV Auto, how y'all doing, man? We back at you live. I thought it was a good opportunity to kind of showcase what goes on. You know, if you do decide to send a car here to VTSV Auto for us to build a car, we come up with a game plan. This is a car that was recently dropped off at the end of last year. We just recently, a couple weeks, started working on it. But it looks rough, but it's actually a real good car once you kind of get into it. Like one thing I look at when I see cars is the gap lines. I want to know how well the gap is on the door. That'll let me know, because if it's worn out, that's gonna let me know it's been a lot of wear and tear on the car. But if you just look, the height of it is perfect. So that means the hinges on the car is probably still in good shape. It's a good chance. But another thing that let me know when I'm kind of working with house money is when you shut the door and everything kind of shuts smooth. You know what I'm saying? That's another telltale sign. Not that that's the only thing you're looking for, but that's definitely a telltale sign of what's going on with the car that you're working with. This is a hard top 71. My guy in Tennessee, him and his son drove it down. You know, this is what a lot of this stuff is about. You know, family, you know, kind of coming together collectively with a common goal. And then the son was old enough where I can already see his eyes are salivating because he's gonna be driving it probably just as much or more than the pop who owns the car. So it's definitely cool for them to see that, you know. But let's get back to it. 71 hard top, full frame off restoration. Let's take a look on the inside. Another thing, what I do if I'm buying a car, if I'm finna think about taking on a project, the most important area to look at is the floor pans, because that's been exposed to the most harshest elements throughout the life of the vehicle. So if you look at the floor pan of this car, it actually, compared to the floor pans we did, it actually looks pretty damn good. The rockers are solid. The rockers on these cars, we learned, are galvanized. So that galvanized kind of protects the metal from rotting out. So the rot is pretty much going to stay within on the floor pan. It's a lot thinner metal. This is a lot thicker, so it's going to take a lot to rot through this versus this thinner sheet metal that the floor pan is made out of. But the only area we saw was right up here on the firewall side. Remember, guys, this brake line is the end of the floor pan, and everything forward is the firewall. So at the bottom of the firewall, a lot of cars that we did rot out in that area, but it's not bad. The customer knew we were going to have to remake that, but if you see the rest of it, if you notice, everything is our signature protection etching primer green. We stripped the floor, all of the areas that we knew were bad, to investigate how bad the rot is. And then with that rusted area, we just went ahead and etch and primed it to protect it till the time we get to it when we cut it out and make it. So we will start building your car from the inside out, just like we did with this one, because we're not going to take your body off of the frame until we get everything done, metal work done, all your gaps and everything is lined up where we want them at, and then you can kind of take the car apart at that point and, you know, really fine tune things, lift it up if you're going to do any powder coat to the frame, things like that. But definitely a nice car that we got here, a nice 71. A mature car builder, came down with his chrome, already chrome plated. You know, that's a 6-month process right there. So if you're building these cars and you go as far as, you know, getting your chrome and stuff redone, you know, that's a 4 to 6 month process if you do the complete chrome on a car, front and rear bumpers, handles, you know, all the little chrome fixes that you want to get done. So you got to prepare for that, you know, make sure you plan that accordingly, because you can get to the end of your build and say, you know what, at the end I'm gonna get my chrome plated, and they tell you 6 months and everything else done. Your car painted, interior done. Now you gotta wait 6 months for your chrome. So keep that in mind when you're doing it. But you know, definitely a good car. You can see, even though, you know, you can see that the car need quarters. The quarters on it are rotted out a little more. You see them here, but it's a little more on the other side here, down in there. So we'll do a quarter on it, but everything else is lined up pretty good. So this car is pretty much, we did get in the trunk. The trunk on it is bad as well, but the floor pan, as good as the floor pan is, we do got to do a trunk pan on it. And you know, lately we just been finding, you know, full floor pans, full trunk pans, and that's probably what we're going to try to source for this one, instead of trying to patch in smaller pieces. If it was a section where we could do a smaller piece, we would prefer to do that, because you're going to keep all of the grooves and bead rolls that the factory put in your trunk pan for it to be an OEM look. But if we can find a whole pan, it's still going to have that look, and then everything will be complete, you know. So that'll be a better fit and finish. A little more time and money in that, but the quality of it is second to none. So we own it. Tennessee, shout out 8-Ball MJG. That's all I can think of in Tennessee. You know, Tennessee had a good college team. They kind of did bad at the end of the season, so we're not going to go there. But yeah, man, we on top of it. As I said, the first of the year we was going to be on it. I did find those marker lights for you too, my brother. So your lenses that fell off when you was driving down, they're here now at the shop. They have been delivered, so that's cool. Keep in mind, guys that watch the channel, we do got a source on parts. It was a gentleman that hit me up. He seen our show, seen the channel, and he thought it was a good idea to let me know that, you know, he can get, you know, hard after OEM parts for these cars. And we ordered a big shipment from it already, you know, fenders, a complete interior job, front, rear, back seats complete. That was in perfect shape. The floor, we got a floor pan, a full floor pan coming from him for the 75 that we're doing now. So it's some dope parts that's out there. If you guys need some parts and you're really serious, holler at me. I probably can find them for you. So stay tuned, my guys. You know, if you do have a car that you want to bring down to VTSV Auto, we're going to build it the right way from the inside out, baby. So y'all check us out. VTSV Auto, let's go.
You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh.
Coming at you just a little more 71 talk, Ace talk. We in the trunk. The trunk, a lot of times, like this is another thing we'll do once we get you in the shop. If we know the trunk floor is bad, we'll source it. If we don't know, we can strip it. Once we strip it to the metal, it'll kind of give us an idea of how bad, you know, the damage really is on the car. So if you notice inside of the trunk, on the passenger side, you do have holes that's eaten through, but that could be patched. And then the driver's side, once we stripped it to the metal, it's okay, it's pretty good. Now you can see that there's a lot of moisture in the trunk. The moisture that you see on there is OSPO. It's a solution that you can put on rust that'll turn the rust into a grindable primer, which you can grind it off. You know, we're not gonna paint on top of that. We'll grind it off again and then put a nice coat of instant primer to prime protect the raw metal. You know, so we're looking good. You know, this is another car like the rust that you see in the quarters over here, that'll replace with a quarter panel, so we're not gonna strip that. But the wheel wells, all of that at the bottom, we'll investigate that once we cut the quarter off. But you know, this is stages, man. Y'all stay tuned. We got good work coming, man. VTSV Auto, let's go. Okay, guys, last but not least, if you see here, we got some excellent condition marker light lenses for the exclusive for the 71 year car donk, and we got this for our guys in Tennessee, Mr. Art. His fell off. He was transporting the car here from Tennessee on a trailer, and they came out. So we sourced the parts for him. We got it. I told you I had you covered, Art. But just with that being said, if you look over here at all the parts we have, the seats, the fenders, I have a source on OEM original donk parts. And if you need some parts and you're watching this video, you know, get at me. You can email me or call. I'll let you know about, you know, my guys have the parts. So if you do need parts on these cars, a lot of this stuff is hard to find. You know, we could do a lot of metal fabrication on cars, but if I can get you a clean fender with zero rust, it'll probably save you a lot of money, and it'll be a better fit and finish than something that was manufactured by hand. So that's why we got these parts. So keep that in mind, guys. If you need parts, you know, VTSV Auto, man, we cover a lot of ground, man. Let everybody know we the baddest man out there. Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your baby daddy, come see us. VTSV Auto, man, let's go.